Hey guys, welcome to another video, and in this video we're going to be forecasting the forex market. We're going to be looking at what the forex market is going to be doing for this week, and I have a couple of pairs that has caught my interest, so we're going to be looking at them, and I'm going to be telling you why I think they are going to be moving in a certain direction as opposed to the other direction. So let's get started. So the first pair that I'm going to start with is the Australian dollar against the Canadian dollar. Now my forecast for this pair is that it's going to sell this week, but I'm going to be showing you my thesis why this market is going to be selling this week. I'm just going to be drawing in my levels. So currently the market is currently at a resistance level. So the market is currently at this resistance level here, and I am looking for a sell or a sell entry this week. But however, I'm going to draw my level so you see what I mean. So I'm just going to put in my level here, and by placing my level here, if I scroll back into the past, you will see that this level actually coincides. So it coincides here. We have a touch here. So let me zoom in so you see close what I'm talking about. We have a touch here, one. We have more of a zone here. We have another support here. It acted as a support in this area. And if we keep scrolling back, we can also see we had a support here. It acted as a support here also. I keep scrolling back into the chart. We can see it also still acted as a support here also. So cool. Basically this market is currently at a very strong resistance level. So this is why I think, or I feel, this market is going to be heading down. So I'm targeting, if everything goes according to plan, I'm going to be targeting this area here. This area seems to be a very good strong resistance. So we have resistance here, we have resistance here. It also acted as support here, so that's cool. So we have good resistance over there, or we have good support here. So but however, I wouldn't be entering this trade simply for one reason. Reason being is that, as you can see here, I have my moving averages here. The moving averages I utilize in this on my chart or in my strategy is they are the 50 EMA and the 20 EMA, and I use them on the close. So I set my 50 parameters I use are 20, and the style of moving average is exponential, and then they are set to close. So in case if you want to copy what I'm talking about. So this is basically the moving average itself is basically like a moving support or resistance level, and as you can see, the 20 EMA right now is currently at price, or it's currently very close to price. So although we have, let me zoom in here so you will see what I'm talking about. Presently we do have a signal. Although we do have a signal, you can see basically this is the signal. So this was the first time I saw this pair, and I saw that I should basically enter this trade. So there was we saw a pin buy here, but as we can see, the market really was very sluggish. The market has just been consolidating so far, and then we also have an inside bar too around here. We have an inside bar here too, and basically we can just see that the market is just consolidating. So although the market, I'm predicting that it may move down, but based on what's happening right now, I wouldn't even want to enter the trade because of the fact that we have this 20 EMA right now very close to price, and basically it's basically support being very close to my entry. So even if it also give me an entry, which it has already given me last week, I can't actually enter this trade. So basically this is something that you can look out for. But however, the reason why I included it here is just simply because if you have a style of trading that doesn't require the 50 or the 20 moving average, it's actually okay, that's cool, because based on what I teach, or based on what I know, the support and resistance levels are strong enough and they can be implemented into any style of trading. Support and resistance are the most constant thing that you need. They are basically constant, and they are the things you need to know when you're about to enter the forex market, or when you're about to trade, or whenever you decide to take trading as a living. Support and resistances are constant in any style of trading. So basically you can still take this as a signal. Basically the market has already given a signal last week, so this is basically an inside bar. You can see this is a bar here, and then this bar closed inside this bar here, which makes it an inside bar. So coupled with the fact that we have a pin bar here, we still have an inside bar here, so this makes this a valid trade. But however, for me, being that the market has actually, or the moving average is very, very close to price at the moment, it makes my risk and reward ratio not so much, so I can't actually enter this trade. But if you want to enter it, you can enter it. It's still a very valid trade, but because of this and based on my style of trading, this is not going to be valid for me. But however, I just chose to bring it in here to show you what it is. And the next pair we're going to be talking about is the Australian dollars against the Japanese yen. Now my prediction for this week is a buy, that this market is going to buy this week, or at least we're going to see some sort of bullish move for this week. Now I'm going to be explaining my reason for why. Now I'm going to quickly just be drawing in my levels, and as we can see, I'm drawing a level around the 72.5 area, and as you can see, this is a support. We have a support here, and as we can see, market is currently around that support, coupled with my moving average, basically my moving support and resistance. That's what the moving averages are. They're basically moving support and resistance. They are dynamic support and resistances. Now basically this is also like a zone, so I'm going to be drawing in my second level. If I can quickly just get that. So this is basically like a zone. So we have the first level up here, and then we have something else down here too, and basically price is currently around that area. Now I'm going to be scrolling down into the chart for us to see more of what this level, or what this level has to offer. Now typically when I'm scrolling back into the chart to see how significant the level is, I'm looking for, and you should practice this too, you should always look for at least 2 to 3 touches on that level before you would know it's significant, before you would know it's a significant level. So we're just going to be scrolling into the chart and see what the market actually has so far. We have a support here, it acted as support here, and then we can see price move to the top side. I'm still going to be scrolling back to see more levels, and we can see it also still acted as support here also. Scrolling back to see what more it has done in the past. As we can see here, it was support, it acted as resistance here, acted as support here, acted as support here. So basically we can see that this is actually a very significant level. Now what is price doing now? Basically price is currently around this area. I'm very close to it. So basically what I'm expecting this week is some sort of retracement back to this level, so it's basically touches it very well and gives me some sort of bullish signal to the top side. Basically that's just what I'm looking for, some sort of bullish signal at this level, at the 72.500 level or the 71.800 level. I am looking for a signal around this place. Now this place is a zone basically, so yeah, that's just what I'm expecting for this week. And my targets for this week, although I don't know if the market is probably not going to get there this week, because since this is the daily time frame, the market tends to move a little bit slower. I am expecting this is where I am going to be placing my take profits. So I would say hold off a little bit on this one. Just keep your eyes peeled for the market to retrace back and give a very significant, or a much more significant bullish signal at the levels. Then take your buy, put your take profit around the 7600 levels, and then your stop loss just a little bit below the 7100 level. So yeah, that's this one for this week. So the next pair we're going to be looking at is the euro against the Turkish lira. So it's basically EURTRY. Now this is basically an exotic pair, so it's not something that I would normally trade, but however this actually caught my interest, and I said let me just show it to you guys. Now this pair, actually I'm predicting a sell. I'm predicting a huge sell-off for this week and even into the next coming few weeks. Now I'm going to be quickly showing you what I mean by that. Now as for this pair, it all starts on the weekly, so I'm just going to quickly briefly touch on the weekly, which is the reason why I originally entered this pair. Now as you can see on the weekly, scrolling back into the chart, this pair doesn't really go that far into the past, but however what actually caught my interest was the fact that we were seeming to be we had a resistance level here, we had a resistance action here, market came back down, and then it's coming right now to approach that place, and right now it has even slowed down around at that area. So I'm just going to quickly put in my resistance level, and as you can see, so basically had a resistance level here, market came back down, and it's currently at that area. And you can see sometime a few weeks ago we got a pin bar at this area, market came down, sold off it just a little bit and came back there again. We tested it again, and right now it has even created, it is basically even creating inside bar, pin bars, but basically this is an inside bar. So we get a pin bar here, we got another pin bar inside within this pin bar here, and then we also still got another pin bar last week, which is basically very, very, very significant to me, because this is basically telling me that we are getting sellers at this area, we are getting sellers around this area based on where it hits before, and right now we are getting multiple resistance signals, which are the pin bars around this area, so which is telling me that we are going to be seeing a very huge sell-off to the downside. Now I'm going to just quickly go back into the chart of the weekly to see if this market actually came from this area. But going back into the chart, we can see the market actually ended, the market actually begun around 2009. So there's not enough data in the past for us to actually look at. So just looking at this right now tells me that this is a significant level, because we had a touch here, and then coming back here again we had another touch, and right now for the past 3 weeks we've been having signals at this area. So now I'm going to just quickly go back to the daily, because that's where I mostly trade on. So since we can see on the weekly that we have that action, come to the daily, and we can clearly see that on the daily we've had double tops. Right, so that's what happened on the weekly. We had a double top, and also to here we are having a double top. So this tiny double top here, this huge double top here, I'm going to quickly show us on the weekly what it is, what it looks like on the weekly. Now on the weekly, that's huge double top. On the daily, this is just it, right? So we have this here, which is still valid here, but on the daily now, if we go to the daily, it makes it even much more valid because it's much more bigger on the daily time frame. So as we can see, we have the market at this area right now with the double top, which is basically a sell signal. Now I'm going to be drawing we are going to just go into the past, or we don't really need to go into the past at this point because it's the same thing as the weekly. If we scroll back into the past, we will see the place where we had the weekly resistance is basically the same as the daily. So we had the resistance area here, market came back down, created, now it's performing a double top at that area, which is making that area very significant. So this is the area. So we got a huge sell-off down, came back there again. We even had a double top here, came back up again, had another huge sell-off, and this happened around 2018, and now we are in 2020. and then the market is currently around that area. So basically I'm actually looking for this to actually sell massively because of the weekly. So I'm just being on the safer side. I'm basically targeting this area, the recent lows. That's where I'm basically targeting. Now remember what I said about the other pairs, about the moving averages being moving resistance, support and resistance. Now market is currently around this area, right? So which doesn't leave room for good risk or reward ratio. However, the reason why I'm ignoring this right now and I'm still going to proceed with the trade is simply because of the weekly. Now on the weekly we have a double top. In fact, we have a triple top, more like. We have one here, we had another touch here, which basically made this level significant because of the two touches that we had here. And then we quickly had the market come back down a little bit, then go back up, and we currently have a resistance around this area, or we currently have resistance signals, or we have a couple of resistance signals around this area. Now this is where I said I want to be targeting on the daily, which as you can see is currently where the weekly moving average is currently around right now. So it's putting me, although on the daily it's kind of like as if I am taking a huge risk trading into support, on the weekly here we can see that this is currently the weekly moving average, and currently I am selling into the support here, or my target right now is around the support, and on the weekly we are not even trading into any support. So it's in this kind of situation whereby I would ignore what the daily is showing me, simply because on the higher time frame there's a much more bigger signal at play. So that is just why I would take the weekly. So right now my target is based on the weekly and not based on the daily. This is why I would ignore my daily support. I am willing to risk the fact that I'm trading into support right now for the bigger picture. This is around here, where this is around this area, the 77.3 area is where the weekly support is. And basically I am going to be trading. I'm predicting that the market is going to sell into this area, right? So at least for the next coming weeks it's going to sell massively into this area. Then when it gets to this area, then we can start looking for if we're going to start looking for if the market is going to continue back to the top side, or if it's going to continue to sell off. But for now I am looking at a sell, and right now based on what has already happened, we already have a pin bar here, and we have an inside bar here. However, so when you're placing your sell, I would say you can place a sell when the market opens, and put your stop loss around here. However, I would say the boat hasn't sailed, but however this would have been the optimum time for you to enter this market at this pin bar here. But because the market is still around this area, so you can either wait for the market to come back up a little bit and then give you a sell signal, or you can sell based on this inside bar right here. And as we can see, the market is still around the opening or the low of this candle here. So we can basically just take a sell when the market resumes or when the market opens, and then target this support here. So as you can see, this is a huge risk to reward ratio, so you can basically place your sell when the market opens up. So that's just all I have to say about this, and on to the next one. So the next pair we're going to be looking at is the euro dollar, the euro USD. So in this pair I'm predicting a buy, and I'm going to quickly show us the reason for my thesis. Now I'm going to quickly draw in my support, and my support is basically at this area currently where price is close to right now. So as we can see, we currently have the market is even currently at this area, so we are basically going to be looking for a buy signal around this area. But quickly, I'm going to scroll back into the chart and see if this level is valid. Now remember what I said I was looking for. Whenever I'm looking for my support or resistance level, I'm looking for 2 to 3 touches around that area. Now we have a resistance here. Basically market came back up here, came back down. We have another resistance here, we have it as support here, we have it as support here. Now we have it as support here. Basically this level is valid. We already have we've counted about 4 to 5 levels right now, or 4 to 5 touches at this 1.1200 area. Now basically what we are looking at right now is market to actually give us a signal. Right now, basically what happened last week or around last week was we got a sell-off around this area. Market slowed down around this area, then gave us an engulfing bar to the top side, or it gave us a bullish move to the top side. Basically this is what I call, for me personally, I call this an engulfing bar, when the next day actually closes above the previous day, right? This is what I call a bullish signal or an engulfing bar. But however, the market pulled to the top side, came back down. So this is basically what I call a second chance for you to enter the market. So as the market has come back to this support area right now, what we are going to be looking for is a buy signal. So either a pin bar or an outside bar, inside bar, or whatever it is. Because right now, as we can see, the market is actually slowing down at this area right now. As at last week Friday, the market actually gave us a doji, and what we would want to be looking for around here for the next candle, which is on Monday, or which is Sunday while I'm recording this. So basically when the market opens this evening, so by the end of Monday, we would want to see a pin bar or some sort here, or at least an outside bar or an inside bar or something like that we want to see around here to make us then buy to the top side. Now the target is going to be at this area, because this is actually a trending market to the top side. So this is actually a bullish market right now. You can see creating higher high, higher low, continue to move up to the top side, and right now it's retracing right now to currently around the 20 and 50 moving average. So currently it's retesting the moving average, which is also coinciding with where the support level is right now. So basically we're going to be looking for a buy, and then we're going to be targeting this area. This is where our target is going to be. So our target is going to be at the 1.13770 area, and our buy is going to be at the 1.12162 area, based on what the market actually gives us. Now I would say you should wait for the market to give you a signal to buy before you continue buying. Now, like I said, you can apply these strategies, or you can apply this particular thesis to your own trading setup. That is the beauty about support and resistance. It can be applied to any type of strategy. Support and resistance is constant no matter what you trade. Support and resistance move. In fact, the whole market moves off of support and resistance. That is why this is very important actually. So basically what I'm just saying is I'm expecting a buy, and I'm expecting it to the 1.13770 area. So that's my target, and then you want to place your stop loss just a little bit below this area here. So at 1.11603 area, that's where you want to place your stop loss, or based on whatever it is that your strategy is showing you or your strategy is giving you. So anyways, that's it for this one. Now let's go to the next one. So the next one we're going to be looking at is the EURJPY. I'm predicting a buy for this pair. I'm going to be showing you my thesis why. But however, I am also, even though I'm predicting a buy signal, I am also still wary of an immediate resistance level. So let's just get into it. So I'm just going to draw in my support area. Now this is my support, and I'm going to be going back into the chart to see if the support is actually valid. So like I said, I go into the chart and I see if we have 2 to 3 touches. So we have one touch here, we have another touch here. Basically it acted as resistance here, it acted as support here. Let me keep going into the chart to see. Basically had a wick here, but that's just what it is, you know. It's not really that significant to me personally. And then we have something around here. We had a support here. Market came back down. So this could also still, I could also draw this in here and make this a zone. So I can make it a support zone because they are so close to each other. When we have market come back down and then it doesn't take time before going back up, you can call this place a zone basically. So, and then as you can see, that zone I'm telling you about right now, it's basically created this, and then we have it acting as resistance at this area. So right now we already have 2 to 3 to 4 at least. We already have 3 to 4 touches. So right now we can say this is a support area. This is a valid support area. Now it has already given a signal already. It has given a signal already. However, I saw while drawing this trade, and what made me not want to enter this trade, or what made me see an immediate resistance level, was this place. So as we can see here, and as we can see, the market has actually reacted to this level already. So we have a resistance area here, we have it acting as a resistance here, we also have it acting as resistance here. We basically have it acting as support here, acting as support here, acting as resistance here. This is why this trade is not something that I would want to enter. I just wanted to show us this example here, but this is not something I would enter simply because of we have a resistance here. Even though I predict we're going to have a bullish signal, or we're going to have a bullish move, based on this area here, I am not going to be entering this trade. I'm going to be standing on the side. I'm just going to be standing on the side and watching what it does. We have better pairs than what this one is actually doing. We have the Euro USD, and we also have the Euro against the Turkish lira. To me, those are much more better than what this is doing. So this is why I would not want to enter this one. We had a very good bullish signal last week. Market slowed down around this area, gave us a bullish engulfing bar, and then this was a buy signal. But as we can see, the market on getting here basically came back down and gave a very indecisive candlestick, and then the market kind of like just slowed down around this area. It's basically just been stalling around here. So the only thing that will make me want to enter this market is if we break this area and then we see a signal around this area. But you know, that's just why I personally wouldn't enter this market. So that's but if you want to enter it and you still go ahead to get into this market, this is where you would want to target. This is the right target. In fact, this is a huge risk to reward ratio. This is the best place to actually put your take profit, and then at the 123.832 area, this is where you want to put your take profit, and then your stop loss will just be below the 119.148 area. And yeah, so this would be a good trade. This would actually be a very good profitable trade if not for this resistance here. Now you never want to trade into resistance. Now as we can see, the moving support and resistance, which is the moving averages, we can see the market currently sits within this area, which is actually a very good thing. It sits in between the moving averages, the 20 EMA and the 50 EMA, and basically this is signaling a buy. But the reason why you should be wary of entering this trade and why you should go for the other pairs that I showed earlier, like the Euro USD or the Euro against the Turkish lira is because they don't have stuff like this, or at least especially the Euro USD, it doesn't have stuff like this. In fact, you should most likely just go for the Euro USD. It's the best of the three pairs, right? Of the three Euro pairs you should enter. So that's why I think you should go for them. And yeah, so that's all I have to say about this. I just wanted to give this example of why we can see something like this, but you shouldn't still enter just because. If you look at it, we have resistance here, we have resistance here, scrolling back, we have resistance here also around this area. Market basically just gave us consolidation around this area, which also shows that it's a resistance level or support level, or basically there's a level there. We have support here, we have support here. So that's why that's a very strong area and something you shouldn't mess with. So yeah, that's all the prayers I'm going to be looking at this week. And also I'm going to put on the screen the ones that are the most likely ones to move in a certain direction based on the fact that they don't have resistance in their way or support in their way or stuff like that. You know, I would put them on the screen right now, so you see the ones that don't have any hindrance in the way basically. So yeah, so anyways, that's it for this week's forecast. Now I'll be coming later in the week. I will be publishing videos every Monday, Wednesdays and Fridays. Sorry, every Sunday, Wednesday and Friday. That's when I'm going to be publishing videos. So I'm basically just going to be bringing videos out every week to see where our predictions have gone so far, or if there's any new developments, or if there's any new changes, or if there's any change, or if the signal itself has been rendered invalid by the movement in the market. I'm going to be releasing videos every week in that aspect. And then if I need to bring out anything in between, if I need to bring out any video in between, I would also do that also. So yeah, that's all for this week, or that's all for today. Have a great day, guys. Cheers.
Hey guys, a quick one here before we wrap it up. On the Euro USD and also on the Euro Turkish Lira, I stated that the Euro USD I am anticipating a bullish move for this week, and on the Euro Turkish Lira I am anticipating a sell. Now I am right on both aspects. Now although both pairs are correlated, so it will be interesting to see what happens and which one actually goes which way in the coming weeks. Now yeah, so I just wanted to let you guys know that both pairs are correlated, but even with that I still stand by my prediction on them, and then it will be interesting to see what actually happens. So alright guys, take care.